Hi.
Hi,
I'm so happy you called on me.
how you doing?
I'm good, thank you. So that was in a nutshell. I don't know if you saw my little post in the chat.
I have not yet. Hold on.
Okay, I can give you the lowdown. I have a woman
Let
in
me read it
pre-for.
out loud real quick.
Okay, all
Now
right,
I'm
go ahead.
curious.
Okay,
I have a woman in pre-foreclosure ready to sell. I'd like you to call, please. Like right now?
yes,
Okay.
okay,
96,000 guys. I want to let everybody know I stopped doing seller calls on Tuesdays because it gets out of control. Like what happens is I start calling sellers and then everybody's like, Pace, call my seller. Pace, call my seller. This is the reason why I set Nick up on the nightly dials. I want you guys to use Nick to make your calls, but Jennifer, I'd be happy to call this lady.
okay, and I will do that. I just happened to talk to her yesterday, and
No, I understand. I'm
okay,
not saying it to you. I'm saying it to everybody else because they're going to be like, call my seller, call my seller, call my seller, call my seller. You'll see
yeah,
it.
got it.
Even though I say please don't, they'll still do it. Which I'm flattered. I appreciate it. Okay, so she owes 96 grand, 3.6%, 17,000 in arrears, but she
Yeah.
says she's negotiated this down to 2,500. Although no
No,
paper.
that's the lien.
I understand. I'm skipping over stuff.
Oh, okay.
She wants 20K, which not sure what the freak. Okay. She wants 20 grand and $17,000 and closing costs and the lien. Yeah. I mean, you're looking at a $60,000 cost to catch up a $96,000 home.
Yeah.
We're looking at a 50% down payment. She said she needs something out of it or we'll just do the deed in lieu. Okay. The renter is not paying, so we would hire an attorney to evict. Have a few buyers interested. Okay. Jennifer, your buyers are interested in this sort of an entry fee?
They said yes, but I did say in my messages to them that I could negotiate the 20K down because I know it's high. But at the time when I was speaking with her, when she said the deed in lieu thing, I wasn't as familiar with that. So I didn't have like a solid response to justify why that her 20K should be lower or not at all. So since then, I've learned that that deed in lieu will still turn your credit bad, even though you're giving it over to the bank because you still have like a mortgage in your name that you never paid off, is what I understand.
That is correct.
Okay. So that really isn't a good decision for her, it sounds like. So anyway, we left it at that, and I got her numbers, and then I said, well, I'm going to have my partners meeting tomorrow and I'll bring this up and see, we're looking at about 12 other houses to buy right now. So I have to see if this is going to work. So that's why today just kind of happened to fall at the right time.
Love it. Give me her info in the side chat. I'll call her.
Okay.
So what are you wanting me to accomplish? Because it sounds like she's already told you what she wants. And your buyers are already saying that they're interested.
But I think, I've had one person though say it sounds a little too high. It's a lot for them to take on. So I would like you to talk her down that 20K and tell her why the deed in lieu is not a good option for her. And on top of it, she went to court on Friday to have the guy evicted, the renter who's in there, because he's not paying. And the judge sided with the renter, saying that she should get an attorney and do a refi. And she was very upset. So when I spoke with her yesterday, she's like, I'm so glad you called. I'm so upset. I just want to get rid of it. So she's even in more pain now.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
Hello?
Hi.
This is.
My name is Pace. I work with Jennifer. How you doing?
I'm blessed and grateful. Yourself?
I'm so good. I'm giving you a call. I'm the really boring person in our partnership. I'm the one that watches all the money. How you doing?
Oh, you're so boring. I'm blessed and grateful.
I am the boring one. I'm always so basically my job is as these opportunities come across our desks, it's my job to sit in a chair and just look at all the deals we're looking at and make sure that we're putting our money in the right places. And Jennifer was telling me about your situation. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to call her. I have to figure out what's going on. Is there a way we can help this lady? What's going on with the situation?
Basically, I had a young lady and her children staying in the house, and her boyfriend moves in with her, and he beats her up real bad, and she leaves, she and the kids, and he's there, and he wouldn't leave. Well, he won't leave. So I filed paperwork on him, 7-day notice to quit. And we went to court Friday, and the judge sided in his favor because he told her he didn't have anywhere to go. So
Yeah.
I said, well, I don't have anywhere to go either, and I need my house because the home I'm living in is damaged. And she didn't care about that.
Yeah.
I said, he's not even on the lease. So I didn't understand that.
Yeah, we had this really, are you pretty aware of like social media, like Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that? Do you know what that is?
I'm not real technical, you know, because I live on disability. I have not worked in like 30 years, and computers were not real prevalent the last time I worked. And I had a secretary; she did all of that stuff. I was a school principal, but so I'm just not real technically savvy.
I got it. Well, let me tell you something really interesting. So last week we go to court, right? It was all on Zoom because they're not doing it in person, of course.
Okay.
And we have a tenant, same thing. This lady named Desiree, she moves into one of our properties. Her boyfriend moves in with her, and he's a convicted felon. She doesn't tell us. Then she plays this prank on him and wraps the toilet with saran wrap so he pees all over the toilet and pees all over the ground.
Oh my goodness.
How do I know this? I know this because she posted it on social media and my property management company caught her. Okay. So we go to court. We're showing the judge, look, this is how she treats our property. She's got a convicted felon living in the property, blah, 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 blah. The judge is saying, I don't care. There's nothing I can do. COVID. And so
yeah,
we
that's
lost.
what this judge said, because of COVID.
Yep, we lost. It was horrible. So meanwhile, you know, we're not in foreclosure. We're a company. We're pretty well established, but a lot of our sellers are going through foreclosure and they're sitting here saying, I'd rather just give the house back to the bank. The problem is giving the house back to the bank destroys your credit, even if you just do a deed in lieu, like a cash for keys.
I'm not going to do that. As I told Jennifer, if I wanted to catch the house up, I have enough cash to do that. But I have a daughter that has cancer. My baby is barely 25, and she has cancer, and she has a baby, and she's a single parent. So I'm paying. She has no insurance, but she was an oil broker, so she took a direct hit with the COVID.
Yep.
And she has not had a paycheck since last March, when she was bringing in $300,000, over $300,000 a year. So she's just really, not taking it well. So I'm having to put that bill. So that's why I have chosen not to catch it up.
It makes sense.
Because the mortgage company is working with me. And so in all honesty, I was buying time so I could pay these cancer treatments.
Yeah.
So, but after dealing with this fool, and he's crazy. This girl is, she's scared of him. She said the children are afraid of him. She's like in hide. And I said, girl, you better get your gun, because if that fool comes over here, he's going to get shot. Because my house is like 5 minutes away from that house.
So what would it look like if we just took that off your plate? Just took all those problems over?
Well, like I told Jennifer, I have to get something out of it. I bought that house almost 30 years ago, and because it's older than my baby. Well, I mean, I bought it before I had my daughter. So I've owned it a long time, and I've never pulled any cash or anything out of it. I had it refinanced. The payment was $1,800 and something, and I had it refinanced and got the payment down to, I think it's like $800 and something. I'm not sure. I haven't paid it in so long, but it might be $7 something, but I'm not sure. But I mean, that's because I just had to refinance for what was owed on it, and that's why I told her I have to get something out of it because like I said,
how much
and
is the how far in arrears are we?
about 12. I sent her a February statement.
Okay.
And I'll have to find a March statement. I sent her a February statement.
She's saying it's about, from her calculations, I'm looking at her notes, it's about 19 grand with the most recent payment.
Okay. I don't think it's that much.
The statement you sent her says 17,546.
Okay, well then it could be. It could be. Yeah, it could be then.
Yeah. So you're around 19 grand. So I got to come up with that 19 grand to catch that up. Then I got to pay some closing costs. Do you know if they've taken care of the property or not?
I have no idea.
Interesting.
I have no idea because I can't even access the property. He's changed the locks on the property, and it was nothing I could do about that. Now, if I had changed them, that would be illegal on my part, and I'd be in trouble. But he wasn't in trouble, and he changed the locks.
What's the least you would take cash in your pocket on the deal?
Probably 25, because like I told Jennifer, I would sell it for 150, and that's taking a loss for me, because I would think it at least built up $15,000 in equity in 30 years.
So you're saying 2,500?
No, 25,000.
Oh wow, 25,000. Okay.
Yeah.
And what happens if you don't find a buyer for it? Are you gonna just keep it?
Then I would probably just catch it up and continue to rent it out.
To the same people?
Oh heck no.
Okay.
No, I'd get an attorney and put them out. Because like I said, if I didn't work with you all, my next visit is to an attorney to get him out of the house and get that back money paid that he owes.
Okay. So I'm not the negotiator on the team. I'm just the person that watches the money.
Right, I understand.
And so I'm kind of confused about the situation. And I almost want to go back to Jennifer and say, hey, I don't think we can help her, but I'm confused.
Well, then maybe you can. And I mean, you can only do what you can do.
Well, I
wouldn't let it just go like that because I put too much in it. Because like I said, I have enough cash where I could catch it up and still have a little cash left. But I don't want to do that because, like I said, I live on disability.
Right. And
I've lived on disability for 30 years. I have an incurable illness like lupus, but it's called Meniere's. And I have a daughter with cancer, and right now I'm really needing to hold on to my little funds because she has no income. She has a house payment, and she had just bought a new Mercedes, so I've been helping with all of that between me and her dad. And we're not together, and he's remarried, so between he and I, we're, helping keep her going. Because I'm trying to get her to move back home because I told her she's really draining me.
Right. So I keep hearing all the stuff that's going on, including like thinking about going and talking to an attorney. Right. And you got all these other things like cancer treatments and you're on disability. And then you're telling me that you want to go and meet with an attorney to go and to get this lady evicted. What happens if federal law won't allow that for another year?
Well, like the judge said, they would still have to pay me all that back pay. And then knowing that she didn't know that it was in pre-foreclosure either. And I didn't think about telling her that at the time, and that might make a difference.
Okay. So we would love to look at the house. I think there's 3 houses within 5 miles we're looking at that are really similar. We'd love to buy your house, but I can tell you 25,000 kills the deal. She actually wrote down a note to me and said you were looking for up to $20,000. And now I'm like kind of blown away that you're asking for 25.
If she recalls, when we first talked, I didn't realize I didn't owe that much on there because I told her I was still owing $125,000 on it. I didn't realize that I had paid it down that much because, like I said, I hadn't made a payment in so long, and when $150,000. So if you paid all of that, say you paid $120,000. I mean, that's still $30,000 difference. So that's why I'm saying, because that's what wait a minute, I'm trying to see who's calling. That's what we discussed up front, Jennifer and I. She said, what would you take for the house? And I said, $150,000.
Okay, so $150,000 is what you would sell to like a real estate agent on the market?
No, that's what I would sell it to a person for.
Okay, and what would you expect that person to do with it? Like fix and flip it?
Well, I had put over $60,000 worth of work into it. Like I told Jennifer, I was living in it myself. I went in and had all the walls retextured, all the popcorn off the ceiling. I floated out all the ceilings and the walls and had them retextured, and I was fancy texturing because I wanted this swirl texture. I've got this unique taste. But anyway, I put in the floating floors. I changed some walls out. Only thing I didn't remodel was the kitchen. I put in new flooring and new lighting, but not new cabinetry and counters. But other than that, everything, and other than that, in the garage has been redone. I don't know what it looks like now. I put a walk-in jacuzzi in the master bedroom, and as I told her, I put those soft clothes. I know that doesn't matter to you, but like I said, I put all this expensive work into it because I thought I was going to be living there. I wouldn't have put that kind of work in there, but I moved from a 6,500 square foot home to that, and I just wasn't satisfied over there. It wasn't enough space for me, even though I'm just one person. But I'm used to a larger house, and I wanted a little more space. I just wasn't ready to throw in the towel yet, so I just wasn't happy there, and I moved on.
Okay, so assuming I can't come up to 25 grand, where would you be?
Well, I would probably just work with the mortgage company and do, get it get the loan restructured.
Okay. I think that's probably the way to go.
Okay.
With you just hearing, it sounds like, do you ever see the movie with Tom Hanks called The Money Pit?
No, I haven't.
Basically, he continually just goes through more and more and more and more stuff, like evictions and repairs, and who knows if the tenants are going to pay and all that kind of stuff. And at the end, he's like, I wish I would have just sold the house.
But you know what? Like I was telling Jennifer, this house has been a real moneymaker. I was renting it for $12.50 a month. I mean, I've never had a problem till I had him. But see, that's why you don't rent to relatives and friends, because this is my godson.
Yeah.
And see, and now it's become a big mess, because now we're not going to even be friends after this. This is a boy that I've raised practically. He calls me mama.
Right.
And to do this to me is very disrespectful. So that's why to get rid of him, I would get rid of the house. I'd do it if it was the child I birthed, just to be done with that problem. If it wasn't so close to me, then it wouldn't be a choice thing. Because when Jennifer called me, I had no thoughts of selling the house. But after dealing with him, I've never had any bad renters before. That's why I wasn't, real good on evicting people. I've owned over 47 properties when I was married, when I had a partner too. And we never evicted anyone, never had to.
Yeah.
But I mean, times have changed. And I've never had to evict anybody. Well, one person about 3 years ago, but other than that, no. And it wasn't out of this house; it was a different property.
Got it.
But yeah, I own other properties, so I mean, it's not the only property I own.
So I've got a question.
Mm-hmm.
So if I buy the property from you and we work out a deal, which I can't work out a deal at the number you're at, but let's say we're somewhere around there. And I go and we finally get into the property and we find out that this person who's angry with you and yelling and screaming and doing all the things, they've damaged the property, and I got $20,000 more in repairs than what we planned.
Well, then we charge that back to them. That's why, you inherit the property, you inherit the debt, because I was filing on them for any damages done, any monies in arrears.
Have you heard of the phrase, you can't squeeze blood out of a turnip?
Well, he has a job.
Okay,
he didn't have a job.
He's not paying rent. So how am I going to
get He just got a job.
Okay, so you think he's going to start paying rent now that he's got a job?
Oh, no. I'll have to take him to court to make him pay rent.
Yeah, we've been doing it a long time. I've never taken somebody to court, won a court case, and ever got a penny out of any of those tenants.
You know what? When the guy, the only one I ever had to take to court, he owed me about $300,000 in back pay, and he's still paying me. It took me 15 years to get him out of a property, but I got him out, and he's still paying me, because they're garnishing his check every month. And they took his car, they took everything from him, so he's wishing he had paid. So I mean, I've been in a similar situation. But, that was the first and only time. And I never thought, this would happen with somebody that I'm so close to. But, just as one of my friends says that in the property business, she does not rent to relatives and friends. And I see why. because it can be a real messy situation. And you know, and that's just it. Because otherwise, I wouldn't even think about it. So it's a good income. It's right around the corner from my house. I can walk over there from where I live. If I wanted to, I mean, it'd be a good little walk, but it takes me about 3 minutes to drive over there because I live, and it's in an addition called Camelot, which is right across the street from the addition that I live in. So it's extremely close. And I like that aspect too, because generally I'll have people either I meet them somewhere or they mail me certified funds because I don't take personal checks. I've had problems with those over the years, so that's just a rule of thumb anymore. I don't take personal checks.
So most of the sellers that come across my desk have half of the issues with the property that you have right now, and they can't.
I mean, I understand everything of what you're saying, and I can appreciate all of what you're saying.
You just don't seem like you care.
Oh, I do care, but I care to take a such a big hit. I'm going to be taking a hit either way it goes.
Right.
So that's why I said, if worse comes to worse, I have cash enough to catch it up and still have to be comfortable living. But I don't want to spend my cash like that with the situation, with the predicament I'm in, because I don't know where my daughter, what's going to happen with her situation, when she's going to be able to work again or what. But, if I had to sell my soul to the devil for my child, I would.
It doesn't seem like you see the benefit in working with me is the problem.
I do see the benefit, but I mean, I'm not a desperate seller. And I mean, I know you're not taking me for that, but I mean, I'm just not. And I do see the benefit of working with you. And Jennifer, I just fell in love with her. She is the sweetest person. So you have a jewel of a wife.
Yeah, she's hot too.
Yeah, I bet she is.
Yeah, she's great. So, all right. Well, the thing is, everything comes across my desk. People ask me to allocate money for these deals, and I'm just going to tell the team it just doesn't seem like you care about selling it.
Well, I mean, it's not a necessity, but if the deal was comfortable for me, I would sell it in a heartbeat just to get rid of this boy out of my life, because then I'm done with him. I'll have to love him from a distance after this situation.
Okay.
And that's all I was telling Jennifer. I said, put some numbers together and tell me what works for you, and then we would go from there. But I mean, I just can't walk away with nothing.
Oh, and I don't think we want to. We don't want you walking away with nothing for sure. But the 20,000 that she wrote down, or the 25,000.
Yeah, I don't think that's unreasonable.
Well, why don't you just sell it on the market? Go hire a real estate agent, throw it on the market. You probably get close to that.
Well, because like I said, it wasn't that I was just trying to sell it. I was just trying to do something quick if I do it. And that with this market being so distressed, which is a buyer's market right now because interest is so low, but I just didn't want the hassle of it. I'm a real estate broker myself, because if I did it, I would do it myself, so I wouldn't have to pay a broker's commission or a realtor's commission.
That's the route I would go. I mean, the thing is, you're probably going to
like doing that. My health is bad. I'm old,
but you want to take these guys to court?
Well, to get them out of the house, yeah, because I can send a representative to court.
But you can list a property by calling somebody, it's super easy.
Well, yeah, I could, but like I said, if I was wanting to do something quick. I guess it's a spur of the moment decision. And when Jennifer brought that to me and I was going through this, it just seemed like, oh man, God is in the blessing business, because this is going to work out, all the way around.
If you sold it on the market right now today, what do you think you could list it for?
I'd probably list it for 160, 165.
Okay, so if you sold it for 165, you had to pay a buyer's agent and some closing costs and whatever else, and they had to take over a tenant.
I wouldn't pay a buyer's agent because I'm a broker myself. I've never paid a buyer's agent.
Oh, so you're just going to find a buyer on your own?
Oh, yeah. I have. I've never had a problem with that. When I've wanted to sell a property, I was $1 million producer 3 years in a row, I just did real estate part-time.
Love it. What do you want me to write down as a note? I trying to talk to you. It doesn't sound like you have any reason to sell whatsoever. What do you want me to write down to the team and tell Jennifer? that you're not interested, or that you're going to handle it on
That
your
you
own?
have to come up with a decent offer. I mean, I haven't heard a good offer. Now, you tell me what's comfortable for you all, and I mean, I may take it. I don't know. I have to see what you can do.
I don't think you would. I think if I gave you $24,000, you'd say no.
Well, I would take the 24, but I mean, if it comes like you said, 2,500, no. That's almost an insult to my integrity.
2,500 was like, I go, wow, this lady's speaking some sense. This is awesome.
Yeah, that would really be awesome.
Right. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell the team what we talked about. I don't think you have any real reason to sell. It sounds like I honestly.
Well, I will. And what's your name again? I forgot. I apologize.
My name is Pace, Pace. And I actually wrote this down, and you're a super sweet, incredible lady. And I love talking to you. But I wrote this note down on my paper. I wrote glutton for punishment. I feel like you want to go through more punishment before you get rid of this house.
No, but I've never gone through any punishment. That's what I'm saying. And
but you're losing a relationship over
it.
You're losing a relationship over if that's not punishment alone.
Well, that's already destroyed. I mean, when you treat me like this, my own kid cannot. My grandson stole over $100,000 from me, and I had him arrested. He was in jail for a whole year. He was 13 years old. But if he did it to somebody else, they might kill him, and he needed to be taught a lesson. And that's who I am.
Right. So
I don't care no more for you than you care for me.
You got attorney's cost, you've got loss of property, you've got back rent, you've got penalties and damages from your mortgage company because they're going to be charging you stuff, and you've got a hit to your credit and a loss of a relationship, and you don't think you have punishment.
Well, yeah, but I mean, this isn't my first rodeo by far, but of course.
Okay, so if one of my normal sellers had one of those 7 things I just listed, they'd be like, take the house off my hands. That's why I think
it's been such a money maker. If it hadn't been, I'd probably say that in a heartbeat. And if I'd had deadbeat renters, I'd probably say that. Well, I would say it in a heartbeat. But it's in a good area. It's close to all the eating places, close to 2 miles, in walking distance of a couple of malls. And I mean, it's just close to everything. So it's it's close to a turnpike. So it's easy access. It's in a good, location.
Okay, so at the beginning of the call, and this is the last thing I'll say to you, and I'll let you go because I know it's late. At the beginning of the call, you said you got to get something out of this property because you've never made any money from it. Meanwhile, you're saying it's been such a money maker. I'm torn.
No, I didn't say I never made any money from it. I never said that. You misinterpreted something I said. It's been a heck of a money maker over the years. I haven't made any money from this food.
Oh, got it. Okay,
the girl moved out, and she was the only person working. She was paying the bills. I didn't know she had moved. A neighbor told me that she had moved out.
Man, how much of your time is this taking? I know you're going to tell me. You're going to tell me it doesn't take that much time, but oh my word. Wow.
Well, I'm a minister, so I don't let things bother me, and I don't waste a lot of time on things that I can't do anything about. And I kind of take things with a grain of salt. That's who I am too. I just learn not to let life stress me out because life happens to everybody, and that's just the way it is. I mean, like I said, my grandson stole over $100,000 cash from me and 250 cougarans, if you know what a cougaran is.
Is that a tenant that doesn't pay their rent?
No, but I'm just saying that didn't, that didn't break me, and this won't break me either. But I mean, because the judge says they have to pay all this back money, because that's why I was saying that you all could inherit that debt if you purchase the house, and we'll go for all that back money.
So will you let me take over your existing mortgage? Where you need to be so I can write it down my notes so I can get them to move forward as well.
Well, I need to be somewhere close to the 25,000, as close as you all can come.
Okay. And if they say no, when should we follow up to see if you've changed your mind? 30 days, 60 days, 90 days?
That's on you.
Why did you become a minister? Why didn't you become a car salesman? You're a great negotiator.
I've sold everything but cootie. So I have been a salesperson too.